Okay. So hello everybody. Welcome to today's program, which is Media Fashion to Profession, organized by Future Media School. So we will begin our discussions, but before we do that, I would request our head of the department, Professor Taposh Roy, to say a few words, uh, to share a few words about today's program with you all.
Okay,
So over to you,
first,
sir.
yeah. Mm, uh, Good evening, everybody. Uh, we welcome you all from Future Media School. As the convener of the program, Professor Shushmita Pandit, has introduced about this program, why this program is organized. Basically, uh, this program, keeping in mind uh, about the kind of experiences that the students who have already passed from colleges, having done their either MSc in Media Science or BSc in Media Science, how they are doing in the industry. Because there are a lot of speculations that we get to see, a lot of dreams, a lot of speculations, sometimes confusions also among the students who are pursuing media studies or even planning to pursue media studies. Uh, you know, there is a distinct difference between the classroom teaching or classroom learning and while joining the industry. The industry functions in a different way. So we thought that why don't we bring some of our successful alumni of Future Media School. We have a beautiful panel of four guests. I'd rather say they are guests now. Uh, the direction has changed. Few years back, a couple of years back, uh, we used to be on the other side, and they used to be on the different side as a recipient. Uh, Today, they are the main speakers, and we are the listeners. So we have Shorjo Prakash, the batch topper. I don't know how many of you know that Shorjo Prakash Da was the batch topper in MSc in Media Science. Uh, we have Priyanka Mahato, Little Pinky. We have Ondrila Muhuri. Ondrila Muhuri is currently pursuing uh, her master's from Jadavpur University. We have a dynamic guy called Devobroto. Devobroto is now, the detailed introduction of our guest today will be given by Professor Sushmita Pandit. Uh, I think, I won't be talking much as because nowadays I have become kind of chatterbox. Once you call me telling something on the microphone, and nobody can stop me. We have a very limited time, and secondly, I am about to leave home. I'll be traveling to Siliguri. There will be tomorrow and day after there are some meetings scheduled with different admission counselors and some of the principals of the schools. So I requested Madam, he leave me today. I'll be joining the next session, but she insisted that I should be there at least for 50 minutes. So I once again I uh, welcome you in this talk show and advise to all the juniors, wannabe media professionals, wannabe media students, and all our existing students who are now tuned to this channel. Listen to them carefully. Uh, don't hesitate to ask your questions or doubts. They all are nice people. Uh, some are seniors than you. They are not old like me or older like Sushmita ma'am. uh, so I just uh, request Sushmita ma'am to take over.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you for making time. I know you are going to leave for Shiliguri today, but still, thank you for coming to the program and starting the program. I'm sure that your words will act as an encouragement and we will be able to do a good talk show. So, first and foremost, let me just give a brief kind of an introduction about our guests, if I may say so. All of them are my students. So, it's always a pleasure to meet your students, when they are doing so good in their life. And when they come and when they talk to us, it always feels great. So first and foremost, you know what, all the students that we have today, they are young professionals. That means that they have started working over the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, and that is the reason why they will be able to kind of give you a better outlook about the way media industry kind of functions. Because what happens is that when we teach in class, we say a lot of things, and at that point of time the students kind of feel that we are kind of forcing them to do certain things which they don't require to do. But I'm sure that the experiences of the guests we have today, they will be able to kind of guide you and tell you that there are certain things that whatever we say in class, that is to some extent it becomes true in the industry also, and how you need to cope with the pressure and how you need to work and what are the experience that they have kind of learned over the years. So, first and foremost, let me just give a brief kind of introduction about our guests that we have. So, we will start with Shorju Prakash. Shorju Prakash is from our first MSc batch, Future Media School 2016 to 18 batch.
18.
And as Taposa rightly mentioned, he stood first. He's a very good student. He's a brilliant writer, and he is even now he is pursuing his passion for writing and passion for writing about sports. I think sports is something
Yeah.
which Shorja Prakash is passionate about, and he is pursuing that goal. And right now he is working at Latestly, right, Shorja? You're
Right.
working
Yes.
at Latestly as a sports writer or sports
Content writer.
coordinator. Yeah. So after Shoujo, we have with us Devabruta Upadhyay. Devabruta basically is very good in handling any kind of event. He's very good in PR. He talks very well. He can handle people very well, and that is something which he has pursued in his profession also. So right now, Devabruta mainly is also working in the to some extent in the media industry, if I may say so. But he's also handling clients mostly. So he is working at the present with Byju's. And Devabrata, if you can point out your designation, what exactly you are doing, Devabrata?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Devabrata?
So the my role over here is a student success. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are.
Am I
Yes.
audible to you? Hello.
Yes,
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 you are
yes,
there,
yes.
Okay.
Brutto. Carry on.
Yes, yes, yes,
So my
yes.
current role at Byju's is a senior student special, success specialist, wherein we take care of our students who are basically the users of Byju's. So it is our prime role, as mentors or senior mentors that we have been, present over there. It is our role to communicate with our students, with our clientele. It is our prime role that we get to understand the problems that they are facing and with what resolution that we can come across, so that they do not have to face those problems in the days ahead, so that they're because given this the circumstances, or given the
Devabrata,
importance of
if I
education
may
in our
just
country.
Deobrata, if I may just interrupt, I'll come back to you about your role because we will learn from
Yeah,
each
sure.
of you about the way. Yeah. So let me just give an introduction about everybody, and then we will come back. Okay. Then we have
Sure.
with us Oindila Muhuri, who is our BSc who was our BSc student, and Oindila has of course done internships at Pinkathon and News 18, and she's a brilliant student. She has performed well when she was in our college, and even now also while she is pursuing her higher studies from Jadavpur University, she is doing well. So welcome, Indrila, and we are here to know more about the way in which you have worked and what you have learned over the years. And next we
Definitely,
have the
ma'am,
last.
and thank you very much for the compliment, though not so much. I'm
No, no, no,
studious.
no, this is true. This is true. And next we have, Priyanka Mahato, one of my favorite students. Priyanka is lovely. She's from Holdia, right, Priyanka? And
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Yes.
I remember that when she first came, that point of time, she had a lot of enthusiasm. She's from our BSc batch, and she had a lot of enthusiasm, and she still has a lot of enthusiasm, and she actually talks very well. She is a chatterbox. She can talk a lot, and she actually, we had done a lot of projects together. So I remember that she did very well in case of radio. She used to write scripts and show it to me. And right now, Priyanka is working at
Uh,
uh,
uh, Teacher of Academy.
T-Shape Academy, yes, and she's handling some people in that role, right?
Yes. Yes.
She has a team. She's handling the team. So great thing, Priyanka. Can't believe that
Thank you,
you're
ma'am.
handling a team. I'm sure you're doing great. So
Neither
now we
am
will
I, and
actually.
my talking skills. I think Devabrata Bhaiya will know better.
No, no, we all know
I
that
am
you have
totally
good
aware.
talking skills. Yeah. So now we are here. We will start the program. What we will do is we will start with Shoujo because he is the senior most. Okay, that's the way we are going. So we will start with Shoujo because Shoujo is also one of my favorite students. Whatever he says, I do believe that we have a kind of special bond. I think our department has a special. Yeah, sure. Tapasya, you want to say something?
Yeah, with your all, I mean, permissions, if you just let me go out
Yes,
of the
yes, sir.
screen,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
So you
yes,
guys
yes,
are
sir. Yes, sir.
amazing guys, amazing evening would be, I think, and you guys just carry on. I'll be watching the recorded video later on, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Okay, okay, fine,
Okay,
fine, sir.
thank you
Bye.
so much. Mm.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah,
Bye,
bye,
sir.
bye, bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
bye, bye.
Thank you.
Mm,
Bye, sir.
mm.
Okay, so we will
Bye.
start with Shoujo Prakash,
Right.
and
Right.
I would just request Shoujo Prakash to share his experiences that after you passed out of the college and then you ventured into the industry. I believe that you started with Statesman, right? So if you
Right.
could just tell the students, the people who are studying media, that what they should think when they are joining industry, and specifically an industry which is newspaper industry. So what are the
Right.
things that they should keep in mind? Yes.
Right. So, firstly, before I go like get into the technicalities of it, I would firstly suggest all of you, like those of you who are budding, budding print journalists and also journalists in general, that if you really believe that you can do it, if you really feel that you want to do it, and you really want to do journalism in life, then please go ahead, and no matter how big the obstacles come your way, I'm sure you will be facing success, because that is what I have also experienced. So if you want to work in a newspaper industry, firstly I would suggest that, like the basic things that you have to keep in mind is, like the technicalities of what an event is, and like what an occasion is about, like the basic details about the 5 Ws and 1H. I hope most of you are quite aware of that, so I'm not going into what the 5 Ws and 1H is. So like whatever we used to learn in class, yeah, that helped in a way, but the industry actually works in something in a very different manner. The industry is not like, the industry will not suggest you theories or past, or past examples to work on. So the media industry is a evolving industry. It it is growing every single day with new additions, new sorts of stories. New developments happen every day, so new experiments take place in this industry, so that way it's a dynamic industry. So in a way, if you have to pursue journalism, and that too if you want to work in the newspaper industry, my first and foremost suggestion would be to keep yourself updated with all the developments that are happening all over the world. Like as a human being, it is not practically possible for one person to know everything, but yeah, the like a basic knowledge of whatever the current affairs are all around you in all aspects. Let's say from politics to sports to Bollywood to even entertainment to even music, everything. So a basic knowledge of everything always helps, even if you want to specialize in something. Like let's say for example, I always had this wish, and I ended up doing it also, that I always wanted to do something in sports. So like if I had 80% of knowledge in sports, I ensured that I had 50% of knowledge in all other aspects, so that it can come to my aid anytime in my professional career. So first and foremost, keep yourself abreast with whatever information is there around the world at this point of time. Like it's just like basically checking the checking Google for news every 1 or 2 hours in a day, just following the news updates. The second thing is that there would be like there would be initial setbacks, because to be very honest, the media industry might look very glamorous from outside, like chatting with celebrities, clicking pictures with them, having dinner with them. So like these are some of the things that students always fantasize about doing. Like I want to be a journalist, so I want to do this. So the media industry isn't always about that. There has to be a lot of hard work and a lot of grinding beneath that, like something that is hidden, that is not seen from the outside. So the second point that I would like to suggest to budding students is this, that there would be setbacks. Okay, just take every setback as a learning point. Just take every failure as something that you want that you know that you want to learn something from my experience. I have worked at multiple news portals, and also I have worked for 2 years at the Statesman, as ma'am mentioned before. So the transition from portals to print journalism, and then again from print to portal, has been full of ups and downs. And by downs, I mean really downs which will really demotivate you at times, will really will really push you to the brink and make you feel, yeah, I have had enough, let me do something else. But if you want to do journalism, just just tell this to yourself, that no matter how big the setback is, you're going to overcome it, learn something from it, and then try not to do the same mistake again. So that would be my second suggestion. And the third suggestion is something that I always say to all students, rather not just journalism, that if you like something that I mentioned right at the beginning, that if you really want to do it, there can be no force in the earth that can stop you, if you really have the passion, and if you really dream of becoming a journalist one day. So if you want to do it, you can do it. Just have belief in yourself. Just know that it's all part of the process, the ups and downs, everything. It is all a part of the process. And one day sooner or later, you would come up with flying colors.
Yeah, I think I'll take that point from Shoujo. He rightly kind of mentioned that passion is something which is kind of very important. And
Right.
I believe that Shoujo Prakash was always kind of very focused and passionate about the fact that he wanted to do print journalism. He wanted to write. Okay. That was something
Right.
which he was always
Right.
passionate and focused about, and he worked on that, and he was a good writer also. That is something which I also kind of mentioned in the class again and again. But along with that, Shoujo Prakash, I also do believe that he actually wanted to only write, but I believe that in Statesman you kind of learned also designing pages, right?
Absolutely.
That's what you have
Absolutely.
said. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
if you
Something
can
that was
give us
not.
a
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am, something that was
yes,
not
yes.
like I didn't learn while I was working for the news portals. Like when I used to work for portals, all my duties were surrounded on basically writing and giving innovative headlines, and just posting the stories on time, posting it across social media. I'm sure most of us follow major news updates from social media. So like my main job was focused around that. But when I joined the Statesman, again I said, the transition from a web journalist to a print journalist. So that actually took me a lot of time to get into terms with what designing is, to get a hands-on experience of learning from peers while at work, and also failing sometimes, and like getting a lot of good thrashing at times also when I used to fail. So that's all
So
part
that
of
is
the yeah,
so
that's
so
all
that
part
is
of the
also
growth.
that is also part of the industry that
Yes,
Shoujo
yes,
is mentioning, that you
absolutely,
have to be passionate, and along with that you also have to be ready to face failures, and
absolutely,
and also fight back and
absolutely,
learn a lot. learn a
Absolutely.
lot from the industry and from the people who are
Absolutely.
working around you.
Right.
Now
Now, one
we
more thing,
will, yeah,
sorry, I
yeah,
want
yeah,
to
tell
just
me.
add one more thing. Like as ma'am mentioned, I was solely focused on writing all my all my college life, and then I was at the same time I was actually, but I was actually very ignorant of everything else that was going on, like graphic designing, like video editing, and page designing and all. But at this point of time, having worked for 5+ years in the media, I have understood that you have to know a bit of everything to to keep yourself updated with the changing times. So yeah, that was the last thing that I wanted to add.
Okay. And now we will move on to Devabrata. Thanks, Shorja. We will come back to you. If we have
Right.
any questions, definitely we will come back to you.
Surely.
We will move to Devabrata. And as I mentioned beforehand itself, that Devabrata was very good in talking and in organizing people in teams. He actually was very much interested in, I think, public relations, that kind of an aspect. And he is right now also working similar in the similar domain, right, Devabrata? Yeah. If you could say more
It's a
about it.
similar domain. Yeah, it's a similar domain. Yeah, sure. So first of all, I would like to be, thankful to you, Taposh sir, and everybody to, think that I deserve to be here, to share my experience with everyone else. Uh, Thank you for that. And yeah, second of all, as you rightly said that, Shorjoda has rightly said that it's not all glory to begin with. Uh, Being in the industry for now almost 4 years now that I have been, and it is not it's my second job right now in Byju's. Before that, I worked a couple of years at Kolkata TV. Over there, I used to take care of the PR and the events over there. I have organized a couple of music concerts, food festivals. There are movie premieres that we have taken, movie promotions that we have taken care of. Durga Pujas, it's the biggest festival in West Bengal. So we have done events related to them. So yeah, in the process in these 4 years that what I have come to know is that you do not a media industry is not just as glamorous as it looks. There is a lot of hard work that that goes behind the camera. What we see on in front of the camera is the outcome, it is the result that we are sharing with our audiences, but behind the camera there is a lot of hard work, there is a lot of dedication and a lot of passion that drives us to deliver that product. And that is what it leads us to provide us with the content, with the outcome, with the product that we are putting out for our audiences. And at the end of the day, the end goal of ours is that we come up with something new, we come up with something that is going to engage our customers, engage our viewers, engage our audiences, and we deliver something to them that at the end of the day they can take. And at the end of the day, when they are watching or they are using our product, they are actually you know, interested in it. So
Devabrata, yeah,
yeah.
if you could just stress that how can that be done, because the
Yeah,
students
so
want to know.
to come to that particular thing, you will have to go through a rigorous process. It is not just the bookish knowledge that is needed, but apart from that, you will have to keep yourself open. You need to be open to learning, because the moment there is no end to learning, right? So we have to keep ourselves open to stay updated with the things that are going in and around. As Shojada said, what is happening around us, we need to be updated with them. What is happening, what are the things that are what changes are taking place, what updates are taking place in the relative industry that we are in, that needs to be there. So we have to be open. And the moment that we adapt, or the moment we think that, yeah, that I am open to learn something new, okay, there is something that I can learn even from my juniors, that is
Hmm.
the day that that you will be seeing the success coming to you more and more. With every passing day, you will be reaching to your end goal, like that. So yeah, there is a lot of glory, there is a lot of glamour, but at the end of the day, you should be passionate enough, you should be hardworking enough, and you should have that madness in you, that okay, if I am going into the media industry, there is something different in me apart. And that is something, that passion of ours is something that separates us from the crowd, that separates these few individuals that are not part of the crowd. You have to have that madness in you, and that is going to set you apart, and that is going to lead you to your success. That is what I can say.
Devabrata mentioned a very important point that you have to be ready to learn from your juniors, right, Devabrata? I think this is a very important point. That is, whenever
Absolutely.
whenever somebody is working in the media industry, or for that matter, any industry, you should not, you should not create a barrier between yourself and somebody who is junior to you. There's always something that we can learn from each other. So it has to be a mutual kind of thing. We are always here to learn, and learning is the key to success. This is true in media industry or in any industry for that matter. Especially in media industry, it is very important that you keep on learning through internet, through news articles, through books, literature. You keep on studying, you keep on reading, because that is something which kind of will help you while you're writing, or while you're creating content online, or while you are even talking to the students, or talking to your clients. You always, when you learn, it helps you to gain knowledge, and that kind of helps you in the process of your growth in the industry. So thank you, Devabroto, for those interesting words. Now we move to Oindrila Muhuri. Now, Oindrila, the thing is that I know you're pursuing higher studies right now, but
Yeah.
apart from pursuing higher studies, you have also, I believe, worked in some of the portals. I think you have worked in News 18, and also I
Yes.
believe that we had organized one event, Pinkathon, for which many of you had been a part of that particular event also. I think you worked as a PR team volunteer for
Yes.
Pinkathon. So if you could just, like, you had studied in the college, and then when you were doing internship, that point of time, like, what kind of experience did you have, and what are the things that struck you in your mind that you still remember today? If you could share that.
There are so many things that struck me in my mind when I was studying in Future Media School. That was a huge and great experience for me. Means which just changed my whole personality, I guess. Like when I just started pursuing media science or something related to journalism, everyone started asking me, when are you coming on TV? So this is a
Oh,
question that everyone used to face. So I just started studying, and I also had a very big ambition to come on TV very soon. But I think when we are in media, like in industry, we don't come very fast to the TV, and suddenly, all of a sudden, we don't come. So we have to go through a very long path. And at first, our classes were very boring. I was also practically very much involved in practical studies. And but when I just gave that university entrance exam for Jadavpur University, pursuing my higher studies, I got to know the importance of those classes. I really got to know how much those classes were meant so supportive. Like I did not do any preparation, but those classes with all those information you Shivnath sir, Tapos sir has taught us that basic knowledge and information and everything, every theory part or practical part, everything I just applied logically, and that was how I cracked that exam. I think.
I think
Then
I think
when
only
I
the one I'm just interrupting because I just remember that you had also made one uh, as you said that you wanted to come on TV. So I think you have made a television project also
Yes,
with
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anamrita,
The
which was
final
very good.
semester.
Yeah, yeah, which was a
Yes.
very good project that you both did. You for the first time wrote scripts in Bengali, I believe, and Bengali is
Yes,
not a
ma'am.
strong area you
Yes.
have. Yeah, if you
Yes,
could
ma'am.
just tell that also, if you could just
Okay,
share
ma'am.
that also, what kind of hardships you had to go while writing the script.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Like what happened, like from my child, means whole childhood, I was studied in Hindi and English. Means I did not study a single line also in Bengali. But after coming in future media school, and Tapos sir told me like you have to do job in West Bengal firstly, then you can move outside, or even after you can build your career here also. So what you have to learn is Bengali. So, and I was very much afraid to learn this, that I have to learn Bengali because speaking, I have singing classes in Bengali, but still Bengali was not so strong that I can do a very big thing here. So future media school like gave me such means practical knowledge, like you have to make news capsules, you have to make documentaries, and I also made a news bulletin like doing anchoring. full proper studio setup. I have planned with Tapos sir, Sharad sir, Shivnath sir, you also. Then we had prepared that script and we really shot that, and that was really a good. Means I think that was a really good news bulletin. So
Yes, it
in
was a
the
very
whole
good news
process,
bulletin.
I was also like kind of satisfied. Though sir was not totally satisfied. Sir said that you can improve
Yeah,
much
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we did not have
So
time. We did not have much time, so
yes,
it
ma'am.
was what
Yes,
we could
yes.
have done that.
Yeah.
I think
So
Tarun sir also helped us a lot that point of time.
yeah, yeah.
Tarun sir.
In the whole video, and Shubhamay sir also. Shubhamay sir
Shubham
like
sir
helped
also,
in the
yes.
whole. Yeah.
Yes.
So the whole process of learning this Bengali came up like by practically doing this. I have really not studied Bengali, but I can speak and write also now. So this
Oh,
was like
now you're writing in Bengali, Mandila?
this, sometimes
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah. You used to
like
work in Dubala
still.
also, no, in Bengali. Yes, yes, I know.
Yeah, yeah. So while I was also doing internship in News 18 Bangla, that time also like I learned like there are so many things which I taught in the classroom, like writing news scripts. Shivnath sir helped me a lot in that to improve more and much better version of writing that came up because of him only. So while I was writing in News 18 Bangla, I thought like my writing write up was very good. Like, but when I just gave their papers or scripts to my senior or under whom I was working, they like pointed out so many mistakes. I thought, oh my god, what is this? So this all things like industry exposure gives us, and while I was doing masters in Jadavpur University, I'm also freelance writing as freelance content writers at various portals or websites. There are also the same things is happening, but what I can say is like whatever I have learned in future media school and all those news capsules, documentaries that are very much helpful.
So
Like
one thing that Indira Muri I think is trying to point out one point is that writing is something which is very important.
yes,
When somebody is in the media profession, one has to kind of make up his or her mind that writing is
yes,
something which you have to learn. Even if you are doing PR, even if you are doing advertising, you have to
yes,
know how to write with in proper grammar, and in any
yes,
of the languages, at least two languages I think are very important. Like as Undila mentioned, she knows Hindi and English. She learned writing in Bengali because that is something, an area which she's also trying to focus on now because she wants to work in West Bengal. So writing is something that I think, that is what Undila is trying to point out, that when we all are kind of trying to venture into the industry, we have to kind of practice writing, and that practice comes from, as Shoujo Prakash and Devabrata rightly mentioned, it comes from reading and being conversant with lots of information, what is happening all over the world. Because if you know about that, then only you can write. Then only you need to have a topic on which you can write, right? Okay, Indira, I'll come back to you again. Thank you
okay,
for those words. Now we will come to Priyanka Mahato, and I have already introduced her, and she is the one who was very passionate about radio, and she herself, even after our projects, I believe that she had actually herself wrote some scripts and recorded it in our audio lab, because she
Yes.
wanted to improve her pronunciation and improve her
Yes,
script
ma'am.
writing skills, right? And I,
Yes,
I, I do
ma'am.
believe that she had improved a lot from the first
And you
Priyanka
used to
to
check
the,
every day,
yeah,
like how much I
yes.
have improved. Yes.
I think you made one script on 15th August, Independence Day,
No,
something,
no,
na?
AIR. I made an script on
Oh, oh,
AIR.
yeah, yeah, All India
You
Radio's
helped me.
history. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So Priyanka, I know that right now you are not working in the radio industry, but you are working, like, you're handling a team of people, right? So if you could just share your experience about the industry, like what happened, like what you passed out of the college and then you started working. So how was it kind of different? What did you feel? What kind of feeling you had? If you could share that.
First of all, though, I don't know what I'm doing amongst matlab Bhaiya and Didi. Like they are so much talented. I don't know what am I doing amongst them.
No, no.
The
No, no,
fact that
Priyanka, you are very talented. You
It's
are very
nothing as such,
talented.
Priyanka. You are as talented as anyone. In fact, more than us, I would say.
Yes,
You know,
you
the
are
way
no,
that
very
no,
you
no,
have
no.
talented. I can
communicated,
vouch for that.
and
I can
And
vouch
yeah,
for that.
and
I
and
didn't
anyway,
mean.
vouch for you in terms of communications or anything when it goes
Yes,
around. I have
he,
seen you.
he's
You know,
very
I
good.
have seen you in person. I know how chatterbox you are, and I know how good you are in communicating with each other. You know that the
And
communication
you're
skill
saying this
is
amongst two university toppers, right? We have two university toppers here.
Yes, so so
See,
And
I'll just,
do I need to say
sorry,
anything else?
wait. I'll just interrupt for a bit. Priyanka, see, one thing you always keep in mind, okay? Never ever undervalue yourself, because you are at a certain place because of your hard work, and it's
absolutely.
always an upward curve from here, okay? So never ever
But
say that
I
what am I
still
doing?
remember,
So it's
but I still
absolutely
remember
fine.
the day. I'm really sorry if I, but I still remember the day Bhaiya and Didi got the medals and they came to college for the photo shoot and all. And Bhaiya said me that, when I'm saying it in Bengali because he said
yeah,
it,
yeah, of course you can talk in Bengali
he
also.
said it,
Okay,
and I
we all
remember.
can talk in Bengali, Hindi and English, okay? It's not necessary that we have to talk. আমরা একটু বাংলাতেও কথা বলতে পারি। আমরা সবাই
আচ্ছা
বাঙালি।
So I
বলো।
remember because it felt very nice. I was in third year that time, and Bhaiya said this to me, so I felt very good. He said that I know what how your marks are, and I know you will get the medal. I didn't get the medal, but the way the beauty I think what the major beauty I felt about FMS is the all the classes and all the batches are interconnected, like in terms of encouraging each other. Like
Yes.
my seniors being Oindrala the Devuda, as we call him, and Surya Prakash Bhaiya. Although Surya Prakash Bhaiya's batch was like, we didn't had so much interaction, but whenever he used to come to college, like everyone, he used to cheer everyone. He used to encourage us. Even Oindrala, even I remember even after my college ended, I had some issue. I needed to inquire something about some particular thing, like probably journalism or something, writing or kind of like that. And I called her, and she picked up, and she asked me how am I, even after the college ended. Like probably you don't find such encouragement in other seniors or in other colleges probably, but she picked up my call, and she answers like for half an hour. I kept on asking like loads and loads of questions, but she kept on answering each and every question regarding whatever inquiry I had. So until now, even if I have any question, I can vouch for the fact that I can call them at night at like at 7 a.m. and in the morning, and they will be like, "Ha, bolo, ki bolchish?" Even a few days ago only, I'll call কিছু মানে কিছু জিনিসের জন্য কল করা ছিল আমাকে, তো আমি দাদাকে ফোন করেছিলাম। আমার একটা সিনিয়র দাদাকে, অনির্বাণ দাদাকে ফোন করেছিলাম রিগার্ডিং টু আস্ক হিম অ্যাবাউট জার্নালিজম এন্ড হাউ নিউজ পেপার ওয়ার্কস এন্ড অল। এন্ড মানে অত কাজের মাঝেও he picked up my call and he answered all the question and all the inquiries which I had. So first of all, the beauty of our college, of our department, which I think was that, yeah, apart from all the green rooms and all Mac labs and all audio visual classes and all the ACs, এটা I think the beauty of our department. And other than that, the major thing, this, as ma'am said, that I had keen interest in being a part of radio, and I was practicing very for like improving my voice, because ma'am used to notice the fact that you have an interest in radio, but you shout so much and you talk so much that you're wasting your voice.
No, no,
You're
no. Talking is very important for radio,
no, but
Priyanka.
I used to I used to talk in very high pitch. But you
Yes,
used to,
that is true.
and you being so much experience in this field, so you always used to guide me that what are the things that I need to keep in mind while practicing all those things. So, and you used to tell me the fact that since in radio, voice is only the major things. People are not going to see you. People are only going to listen to you. So you need to keep care. You need to care about your voice. So I used to do that. But after leaving the college and doing all my master's degree, graduation degrees, I luckily or unluckily, I was a 2020 batch pass out. So that's when Corona happened, and unemployment struck, and and right now I didn't get the opportunity, and which is a fact. And this is a real truth, which I'm sure that everyone, money, you have to be prepared of it. It is a bitter truth that
And
it
and
is.
Priyanka, the thing is that very important point you have brought in, that is the COVID-19 factor,
Hmm, hmm,
which actually acted as a major impediment specifically for your batch and also
hmm,
for the later batches,
hmm,
like with the batch which has passed out this year also,
hmm, hmm,
mainly in terms of employment, because many people in the media industry and also in other industries have lost their jobs. But we will come to that also. I think we will ask each one of you about the way it has affected you.
Ma'am,
But
the
apart from that, I think, Priyanka, you have to also remember one thing, that in today's world, it's not a, you have the talent and you will be able to create programs for yourself if you do
hmm,
podcasts. you know
exactly, ma'am.
I think you have the voice, and you need to just work on good scripts, because I think that your writing abilities need to increase. But I'm sure that you will be able to do that. You will be
Thank
able
you.
to create podcasts, and that will become a major. You will be able to become major success in that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. In this pandemic, as I was saying, like people, if they don't have work, they're creating work for themselves. Like if as Surya Prakash Bhaiya mentioned, like the new generations are involving themselves in graphic designing and all. So what I saw in among some of the juniors, like they were doing graphic designing, and they used to sell it for like even for $100 or $200. It is at least, मतलब कुछ नहीं से कुछ तो अच्छा ऐसा. So so you have to, there will, like, our media industry, the major drawback, like there are so many benefits we have in this industry, but the major drawback is there is always a thing of uncertainty. And it is not because of COVID-19, it is always there. But you have to be like always prepare yourself, like whatever situations come around, you have to be mentally prepared, because the more glamorous it looks, as Bhaiya Devabrata Bhaiya mentioned, the more glamorous it looks, it ain't. Especially if you're working like behind the scenes, there is a thing off the camera and there is a thing in front of the camera. The major thing that happens behind the camera is like the all the efforts and how you मतलब कभी মানে কখনো এরকম হয়ে যায় যে ইভেন্টের মাঝখানে কোনো সিচুয়েশন চলে আসে, এন্ড ইট দেন লাইক পিঙ্কাথনের সময়ও অনেক সময় এরকম হয়ে যায় যে কিছু সিচুয়েশন এরাইজ, ইভেন দ্য লাস্ট পিঙ্কাথন দ্যাট উই অ্যাটেন্ডেড, হিউজ রেন, মানে হঠাৎ করে রেন চলে এসেছিল রাতে, অনেক টেন্ট পেন্ট উড়ে যাচ্ছিল, তখন যে হুট করে যে নিজের মাইন্ডটা লাগানো, সেইটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট. তো এই মিডিয়া ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে আই ফিল having the mind, state of mind is very important. State of mind, and to always ready for challenges, I think that is very
So
important.
so
One thing that
basically,
I would like to add to Priyanka, that
yes.
is, that one need to back themselves. One need to know what their niche is. For example, like Shorjoda, he always had this niche that he was a very good content writer. He knew that particular thing. Oindila, she always knew that she is good with the vocab. She is very good with the oratory part. She was comfortable in front of the camera. Priyanka, she knew that she wants to pursue something that is related to communication part. I would like to state Gaurav Rai. He is amazing with his photography. He knows that what his niche was. I know what my niche is. So knowing that what you are good at, and owning that particular skill and backing that particular thing is very very much important. And at the end of the day, if you are comfortable, if you know what your skills are, if you know what you if you are ready to back yourself, then I don't think that that you are going to face major issues in that time, because in that way you are ready to upgrade yourself, you are ready to evolve, and the more we evolve, the better we get in the days to come. That is
Yes.
one thing that I would like to.
And Devabrata is very right in pointing this out. What we as faculty members have also done, I think you all will agree to the fact that actually I can talk about myself only, but I knew that who has what kind of talent. Like Shojo knew from beforehand that he could write well, and he honed his skills, so he could be a good writer. And I also did believe that he can actually achieve if he learned a bit, he can actually also achieve the technicalities. He was not very good in technical aspects like editing, or maybe even opening email account and losing. I remember he lost in the past, he forgot the password and he had to open another email account. But Shoujo was very confident about the fact that he knew how to write. And then, when he ventured into the industry, he also learned page designing, which he was asked to do in the college itself. But that point of time, he did not heed to that advice, because he felt like when you're in college, you feel like it's okay, I'm good in writing, I will focus on that. But no, the thing is that you have to learn each and everything a bit and focus on one particular aspect, which is, for Shoujo it was writing for print. Okay, for Devabrata, as Devabrata mentioned, it was mainly communication skills, interacting with people, organizing event. For Oindrila, it is about being in front of camera, talking in front of camera, having good pronunciation skills. For Priyanka Mahato, again, it's communication as well as honing or developing your voice. So the thing is that each of them had talent, and that particular talent, which field you should go, that is something which we can, as teachers, kind of feel and identify with, or we can tell you, okay, this is the right field that you have to go ahead, and you have to choose, and you have to move ahead in this particular field. That is something that we can do. But ultimately you need to have that talent. That is something very essential. Or if you don't have it, you have to kind of develop it or learn it. And in order to learn it, it is not only about sitting in front of the computer, or computer and doing editing, that you will be able to learn it. You have to first of all learn how to write, learn how to come to an idea. That particular skill has to be developed, and that can be developed through brainstorming sessions. That can be developed when you read a lot read a lot of news and information, read a lot of books. Only that is it is through that you will be able to develop that particular skills. I think you all will also agree with me on that particular fact, that it is about what story I want to cover, right? And in order to cover that story, I have to know that this story is interesting. So this sense of news, that hint has to be there. And then you have to venture into the angle that you have to cover, and that can only come when you read a lot. Okay, and when you write something, you have to keep on writing. I think I have
Correct.
a question here, which is specifically, I think, dedicated to Shoujo Prakash, because he is the one who is working in print. So we have a question from Kaushiki, who is one of our students in the first semester. No, sorry, second semester. And this particular batch, it has been unfortunate that this particular batch actually, if this is a corona batch, that means that they have only ventured into college, I think, for 2 months in between, because they were called for practical classes that point of time. So I think Koshiki was also the one who had come. So she wants to know, I think anyone can answer that, but I think it is focused on print, so I will address it to Shoujo Prakash.
Yeah.
He says that if I want to opt for print journalism, what would be my first step? And she said that we are getting theoretical knowledge from our semesters, but would that be enough for on-field work? Or do we need to do several internships for the same? I do content writing, but I feel both the things, that is content writing and print journalism, are different. So can I get some suggestions on that? That means that he has like three questions. The first one, I think, Shoujo, you address is like, what should be the first step if somebody wants to do print
Okay.
journalism? So you can
So, ma'am,
address that question.
I'll go one by one. The first thing
Yes.
that you need to start doing if you want to pursue a career in print journalism. specifically journalism, that is that you have to be updated with all the developments happening around you, and that means, and like that means not just reading news on portals, but what I'm going to say, many people might consider it to be a very old practice, but the habit of reading newspapers is very important. See, newspapers bring something that no portal or nothing can bring. So firstly, develop this habit of reading newspapers and reading them thoroughly, not just reading the headline, or just looking at a very catchy picture and reading the photo caption. Not just that, reading a newspaper thoroughly will give you a lot of idea and will actually like improve your language as well. So simultaneously, when you start reading newspapers, like you, let's say you do it for a month or two, then what you should do is, my suggestion would be, like the way I started, is start writing those news yourself. For example, if you like, we all know about the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan currently. So whatever development is happening, let's say you take out a chunk from a newspaper, and then you read it, and then you start writing it in your own words. Try giving it your own headline. Try writing it through an angle. Try merging 5 6 news copies into one, giving it an angle, and giving it, like, writing it in your own way. So that way you can, that way you can actually start preparing yourself even before you have industry experience. See, the industry always requires people like who want to learn. Definitely, like if you go to the industry with zero experience, then also you'll be greeted, you'll be taught. But if you already go to the industry, if you approach the industry with a bit of knowledge, with a bit of experience on your own, the experience that you have had yourself, so that is something that always helps. So my suggestion would be reading and writing simultaneously. Start reading, develop this habit of reading news across portals and across websites, most importantly newspapers. And secondly is to start writing. Yeah.
Okay. Now I think the next question that Koshiki has asked, I think I will go to I guess Oindila. That is, Oindila, Koshiki is asking a question like she is the, as I said, Corona semester batch. So she was kind of worried that she's getting theoretical knowledge from the semesters, but because the colleges are not open for the for in-person kind of classes, so she wanted to know whether any kind of field work or mainly internships are kind of necessary or not. And Oindila, I think you're the best person because you are yourself studying right now, so I think you will be able to guide her a bit about whether internships are important and how important internships are.
Ma'am, I would like to say on this that whatever you are studying as theoretical knowledge, that is definitely not completely done. But you also have to do internship. But what can you do in this Corona period? Like there are several internships you can do work from home also. Like in content writing, the ones you are doing in print journalism also you can get many internships like in websites, etc. In any beat, sports, politics, entertainment, or anything you would like to do. I think that theoretical knowledge, whatever you are gaining from your semesters, will be an add-on to the field work you are doing on the internship. That will be a very much helpful thing you can do. So, not several internships you need to do. You can do one or two, that can be enough. But you have to do that very efficiently. Like whatever you have to do, you have to do that efficiently. Otherwise, or unless you can't what I can say, you can't learn anything. So whatever you are doing, you should do it efficiently and work hard. Like you should not leave it in between.
Okay, and I think
I
Oindila
wanted to
made a very
add,
important.
yeah, ma'am, I
Surya
wanted to
Prakash,
add,
are you
sorry,
here?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt,
sure, sure,
ma'am,
sure,
but I
Surya.
also
No, no,
wanted
no.
to add to what, I also wanted to add to what Oindila said. I think that's a very good point. And adding to that, I think like doing internships is one thing, like getting an industry experience, but also like if you're really interested in writing, and if you're really interested in journalism and content writing, you should also start considering opening a blog for yourself, like doing
Yes,
some
very good,
blogging on
very
your own.
good.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that
yes.
was, yeah.
Very, very, very good point. Very good point, which Shorju Prakash mentioned. And
Um,
Oindila, thanks for pointing it out, I think the students will now understand
Ma'am,
that how important it is to write. And also create your like going ahead in doing internship. That is one point, that you get an internship, you write for a particular portal or newspaper. But apart from that, it is also kind of important that you yourself write and post it on a blog. And that is something which I have been, you know I have over the years pestered the students to create a blog, for which many students have got angry on me also. But then later on, I believe there are some students who came back in other colleges also where I have taught. They kind of came back to me and they said, ma'am, you had asked us to write that. At that point of time, we did not understand. But definitely, it has kind of helped me in getting a job, or securing a
ma'am,
position
ma'am,
somewhere.
can I say something?
Priyanka, yeah,
Like,
of course, Priyanka.
ma'am, as the context of writing is happening, I can just add up, like, as a company, like during my search for internships also, whenever the interviewer will always ask you to show your previous writings. So as ma'am said, and as my senior said, that you have to keep on writing as part of your work portfolio. Everyone has to make your personal portfolio, which you need to show in terms of what are the previous works you have done. And internships or writing a blog will always help you to move a step ahead. Like, others will also be participating for the same job which you are participating. So your writing will always differentiate from others. So you have to always keep in mind that whatever you are writing, you need to keep a record of whatever you're writing in terms of blog or in terms of a folder or whatever. Because whenever like, if I consider my company as well, whenever we hire a new joinee, we always ask him or her, like, if he or she has any previous experience of writing or not. And we always test their writing, like, in terms of even the minute grammatical mistakes are always judged. Because whatever you write, even I have seen people, matlab, pass having a graduation
Priyanka,
degree, but doesn't having a sense of grammar. So
okay.
you have to keep
Priyanka, I'll just interrupt. I think we don't have much time left. So I would just, final words, okay? Final words from all the panelists we have today, the wonderful panelists. So I think Shorju is in a hurry. So we will start from Shorju and then we will move on. Final words for the students, like when they're coming to do a course on media, the final words that they should remember, like one, two, three, like 3 pointers or 1 or 2 pointers. Shorju, we will start with you.
Yeah, so like if I have to sum it all up in 3 points, I would just say the first thing: if you have joined a media course, there has to be a reason why you've joined it. Okay, so keep keep that reason in front of you all the time. Don't lose vision of it. That's number one. Number two is that believe in yourself, because that is very important. There would be some times where everything will go wrong and you will feel like quitting and doing something else. But trust me, I have gone through this for the past 5+ years, so I know. So always believe in yourself. And thirdly, always have a dream for yourself. Like, what do I want to do through the media? Like, for example, like I can say my dream, I can share the little dream that I have. Being a sports enthusiast, I have this dream of interviewing Virat Kohli one day. So that's my dream. That's my dream that keeps me going
Oh,
every day. So yeah, have the dream, have a goal, and definitely, if you believe in yourself and keep vision of why you joined media in the first place, you would be able
yeah.
to succeed. All the best.
Very good, Shorja Prakash. I think you have pointed it out very well. You have to dream and have to be passionate about it, and don't lose hope when your dreams are not becoming a success, especially during this pandemic. I think you have to keep the hopes up, because everything is going to come back, and you have to keep on doing your work. That is the best way towards success. Thank you, Shorjo. Stay with us for a little while. We are going to end the broadcast within 5 minutes. Last words, Devobroto. Last words to sum it up. Last words. We can't hear you. You are mute.
I'm so sorry. I'll just add on to Shorjo the what he said, that at the end of the day, it's your passion that that has brought you up here. If you in a country where we produce engineers and doctors the maximum in the entire world, in that particular country, if you are choosing media as your career, that means ki you are already apart from the crowd. You are have a mindset that is not similar to what 10 other people are having. You already have a dream, you already have a passion. It is time that you believe in yourself, you believe in your dreams, and just go for it. Because no matter how many defenders are standing in front of us, being a Bengali and being a football enthusiast, we all are. I can give you a good example out of it. Let's say if there are five world's best defenders in front of you, and there is a world's best goalkeeper ahead, even then the good striker is going to put the goal inside the goalpost. So you will have to be determined, you will have to have that passion, that you should always keep that passion ignited. So the if you are having that particular thing, if you have that hunger to learn, there is nothing that is going to stop you from achieving. And I would say that during these college times, this is the best time where you get to learn a lot of things. Keep yourself open to learning from your professors, from your friends, from anybody you get to interact with. Try to learn something from them. So if you do that, there is nothing that is going to stop you from achieving your success ahead.
Thank you, Devabrata, for those words. So, learning is something which is a continuous process, and you have to keep on learning. Strive to learn that. And we are in the world of information overload, so we have to find out what is it that we should grasp and learn. Thanks for those words. Now we'll quickly move on to Oindrila Muhuri, and then we will move on to Priyanka Mahato, and then we will end the broadcast. Oindrila, final
Yes,
words.
ma'am. I want to mention that whatever Surya Prakash and Devubrata has mentioned, that is correctly. Uh, Adding to that, I think a friend circle is also important. Like who can push you? Like your passion, your dream is definitely yours, but you also need some enthusiastic friends who can push you. Like in my case, I had many like Anirban, and there are many like Onindita and many more. But Anirban has even after college have pushed me. Like whenever I used to lose track, he used to enthusiastically give me updates. Like on sports beat, I generally don't used to go to see those updates. I don't used to read newspapers. From the sports news, I used to get from him. So like this Bengali, still now he is pushing me like you should work hard, you should work hard. So this kind of enthusiastic friend circle is also important very much in this media profession, because you can't gather every news that is scattered over in your surroundings. So you can learn from your friends, interact with them. That will be a very good conversation, and your communication skills will also get better. Along with it, writing, blogging, and everything is definitely a must for a media student.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Oindrila Muhuri. I think you mentioned it very rightly that there are certain things that you should learn from your friends also, and you have to strive and work hard for it. Priyanka, last words. Priyanka.
Ma'am, as Didi mentioned, friends are really very important, because choosing a correct friend for this for your profession is very like I myself, ma'am knows the friends I used to have, like Sagari, Gaurav, Shoham, Somnath, everyone. They always used to guide me. Like what are the things? Even after the corona happened, you really need to have good friends in your life who are going to tell you, who are going to help you. And the fact that I don't I'm really vouching for the fact that the teachers do we have, the professors we have in our department are always going to help you in whatever times or how many questions you have. Because I remember like during my radio practicing times, মানে আমি কত জ্বালিয়েছি সোমনাথ স্যারকে আর সুস্মিতা ম্যামকে, I remember it like so vividly. And during those time, ma'am, another thing that ma'am used to tell me, like when you reach at a professional level, working as a team and always being on a learner side, and not being on a learner side, and always learning something from your workplace and your surrounding, and your department and your classroom is very important. Because you always have to be cooperative and being collaborative, not only in your classroom but in your future working area is really important. And that's
Priyanka,
what ma'am also taught me during my graduation. So I think that's what it is.
Priyanka, yeah, thank you. And this is something which I still now keep on telling the students, that is teamwork is something which is very important, because we have to learn how to collaborate even if our interests don't match. Because we have to work in the corporate world with those people maybe with whom we don't have mental wavelength matching, but we have to cooperate and do our work. That is our job. So thank you everybody,
I
Oindrila Muhuri, Devobruto, Priyanka Mahato, and Shorja Prakash Bhaduri, for coming and
Thank you so much.
sharing your thoughts. This is like a wonderful thing, and you all have grown up so much. You all have been such wonderful professionals, I would say, and you have given such wonderful advice. I'm sure that the students, even us, we are going to remember, because we always learn from each other. We are not teachers, but we are kind of mentors who are always learning from the students and pointing the students towards the right direction. That is what we do, and everything else the student
Ma'am,
does.
I don't know how am I
Ma'am, this is
handling my
the best
juniors.
part of Future Media School.
Yes. Ma'am,
Getting
I
you
don't know
all
how.
Yeah.
with us.
Ma'am, I don't know how am I handling my juniors, because I keep on remembering the torture you all used to get,
and
especially
and and
our
one thing that
batches.
No, no,
I
it's
would also
okay.
like to add to what Priyanka said, that that not just Priyanka, we all can vouch that how much assistance that to our success, that wherever we are, how much hand or how much push that you have had, all of you, Sarat sir, Shivnath sir, Tapos sir, all of you, the hard work that you have
I
put
do,
in
I do,
behind us.
I do only, I do only believe that uh, that
Even the
I
guest
guess that
faculties we had.
you all must have at least learned something from the college. I'm sure that you have learned about
Um,
the studies, and you also have learned about how the way in which it has to be done. I think that is
Absolutely.
something which you have to keep in mind, that the
And
guidance, that is that way it has to be done, the way you have to write the scripts, the way you have to approach a problem, that is very important, because later in your
exactly.
life
and
when you
and
actually are
one
doing
more
your
thing
work,
that
you
is
will
there,
actually
that is like you should not be afraid of asking the question. No matter how small the question is, you should always be eager to get your doubts clarified. If you have even a smallest doubt, slightest of confusion that you are having regarding anything, and being you people, all of you being so much approachable, I remember vividly that if I have had any doubt, if any of you can vouch for that, but if any of us have had doubt at any point of time, if we would approach you, no matter how many times we approach it for the same question, you were there to assist us with those particular queries, and to answer us with those particular questions. So that is one thing that I always tell my students at this particular stage as well. And I would say anyone, I would suggest it to anybody, that if you are having any queries, if you are having any confusion regarding anything, go for it, shoot your questions, get your doubts clarified, because if
I
you do
think I
not
think
ask.
Definitely. And still
I
now,
think I
like,
think
ma'am, I still now contact you. Like, when I was doing my
yeah, I
dissertation,
know,
that time
I
also
know.
I contacted
Yes.
ma'am, like, ma'am, please guide me. I
and
am lost in
Even
somewhere.
I,
Then she told me
even
the whole
I,
process.
even
and
I
and
called
I
ma'am few days back regarding a doubt related radio
radio
interview
related,
and all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the students are kind of welcome, even after they pass out from the college, they are welcome to clear their doubts. Even Shoujo Prakash is also welcome. If he has any doubt, I don't understand sports, but yes, if you want to know something about politics maybe or anything else, definitely Shoujo is also kind of welcome. He's great. But yeah, if you're always kind of welcome, and I love all my students, and I think Kaushiki is here, and Kaushiki will agree to the fact that she is the one who keeps on asking questions. Okay, and
We can
I
see that
and
probably.
and I am very happy that Kaushiki keeps on asking questions, because that is the way it motivates us to learn more and to give proper answers, because that is our duty as as teachers also, to give proper answers to you. But thank you all for coming here and sharing your thoughts. And sorry, Shorjo, I think we
No,
exceeded
no,
8 minutes.
absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
I am sorry for that. But thank you, everybody. We hope to meet you again, and please keep in touch,
Sure,
everyone. Okay, I'm
Sure.
ending the
sure, sure.
broadcast. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Bye.
you,
everyone.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.